everybody, and today I'd like to talk about Fusion 360 and its templates for their cam function. Lately I've been doing a lot of work, same repetitive things over and over, cutting designs out of 16 gauge steel on my Langmuir Crossfire Pro, and I was just looking for like kind of a way to streamline things a little bit, and I ran across the templates function within Fusion 360. So it's pretty cool. So if I go and I want to cut something like this is just some like wall art on two pieces. It's held together with some standoffs. And what we're going to do is you're going to go in, create your typical setup, how you would do it. So like for my Langmuir, what I basically do is I set my work coordinate center off to there, set this to cutting, pick the model I want to use. All right, no additional stock, I keep it as is, give it a name. All right, so that's the name. Then I'll also go and I'll create a setup for the top piece that I'm going to cut out. So I select that as my model, change my box point, my work coordinate center, cutting also. No additional stock, right? There's pretty much no way around this setup. This is like the legwork you got to do in the beginning regardless. So now once I have this set up, normally, right, you would go in, click it, go to cutting, and I'm always constantly using like either 16 gauge or 14 gauge steel. So then I would come in, select the same tool that I'm using, like go to my library, get my plasma cutter, right? That's all been set up. Then I have to go in, change my feed rates for the 16 gauge steel, select my geometry. Then I'll go in, I'll adjust my tolerances. Usually I'm using like 0.001 or to 0.005. Click smoothing on. Go in, change my lead in, lead out, all this, and I would have to do this multiple times. And if I'm doing lots of designs, repetitively over and over, it gets kind of tedious to do and it gets annoying. It's easy, it's the same thing over and over. So instead, what I decided is that you can create a template. So what's the beauty of a template is that I can go in, once I'm in my setup, right click, go create from template, plasma operations, 16 gauge, click it. Now, when I hit the drop down up here, I have two different ones that I normally use. The first one is usually for a little bit more finer detail with a little bit more hard edges. So I know I don't need that for this first operation, so I'm going to delete it, which is fine because that's one click. Now, I'm going to go in and edit this, and we can see that my feed rates are all set up, tools already selected. I just need to select the geometry I'm using. My tolerances, how I want the compensation type is already set, smoothing is already set, everything else for my lead-in radius and sweep angles is all done. I hit OK. Done, it's generated. Now for this, it's just as easy. Basically go in, right click, create from template, 16 gauge, and all I'm going to do now is I know I probably won't need that first one, but I'm going to keep it just in case for now. I'm going to go to edit, just select my geometry, hit OK. Take a second to generate. There you go, all done. And that's created from the template. Now I know I don't need this first one, delete. And that's how templates work. So I'll just show you how I did this and how to do it, and it's relatively easy. Okay, so I'll just go back to setup one, and I'll go to cutting. So right now the tool's already selected, so you would normally go through your day-to-day or every typical function you do. So you select your tool, change your feed rates if you need to, select your contour, so we'll just do that again. None of this needs to change for us. Change your tolerance, so I'll do this as if I've never done it before. Smoothing, I'll keep that in. Change my lead-in radius, sweep angle that I like to use, 0, good. Now you hit OK. Entry position I don't normally check, but if you need to, you can. So now that it generated that operation, so I can right click onto it and I go store as template. So I can call it whatever it is. So 2D profile, plasma gauge, 14 gauge operations, choose the location. So I do it to the cloud, so I always have it. You can do it locally. So let's say local, select folder, right? It's gonna find it, save. And that's it, so that's always there. Say I wanted to do that for this one, right click, create from template, and there it is. So that's how you use templates. Now, if you want to manage the templates, come up to over here, template library. Now I know I don't need this one, so I'm going to delete it for now. But I can go to cloud, and there's that one right there. I gave it a description, and it's saved there. So that's how you use templates in Fusion 360. I found that it's pretty much made my workflow that much easier and quicker, and less tedious for that set of operations that I'm always doing. And you could do this for multiple. So whenever I bring mine in, I have two operations. I have one for finer detail and then one for the general patterns. And whatever ones you don't need, you can pretty much just ditch out. So hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Bye.